All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next PCA webinar. My name is Jenna Shamari, Marketing Consultant at PCA, and I'll be your host for this event. So we have some great people here with us today. We have Chelsea Heary, Account Executive at PCA, and Leanne Chapman, Development Executive for the Microsoft Modern Work team at Ingram Micro. But before we dive into it, I wanted to share our topic, which is the power of AI with Microsoft. Get Copilot ready. We're very excited about this series, and this is actually part 1 of 3. So stick with us to see how we get deeper into Copilot in each of our sessions. The reason we're digging into this topic today is we understand some of you might be leveraging AI already in your day-to-day, or maybe some of you are kind of curious and just getting started, but we know how important this topic is. And today we're going to focus on a general overview of what we think is valuable for you to know as you continue down your AI journey. So we'll go through our slides here. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat and we'll capture those to have a PCA team member or technical resource reach out to you right away. And we are also recording this session, so we will follow up with that webinar recording and a Copilot success kit for your reference. And just a sneak peek for your knowledge going into this series. So part 2 will actually be a live demo and an interactive Q&A. So keep that in mind, and we'll share a link at the end so you can lock that in on your calendar. But I'm excited to hand it over to Chelsea from PCA. Go ahead and kick us off with some AI trends and some early findings about Copilot to help us learn a little bit more about it.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you, Jenna. As Jenna said, my name is Chelsea Heary, and I work at PCA Technology Group as an account executive. So we're just going to go through the first couple slides here and just kind of talk about AI and how Copilot's being integrated into your day-to-day at work here. So like I said, generative AI technology is here. So when thinking about how you're going to use Copilot and AI, these are a couple of good places to start. So you're going to want to look and see at what your organization's goals are for using AI, maybe some pain points that you might be having. One of the big reasons why people do like to use Copilot is it eliminates a lot of those mundane tasks in your day-to-day. So seeing what kind of pain points that Copilot might be able to assist you in. What are your organization's current capabilities in terms of AI? Are you already using it in some way and looking to expand upon that? Does your organization have a data strategy in place? And then does your organization have the necessary infrastructure and resources to support those initiatives? So just taking a look at this timeline, just kind of how some of this other technology is kind of how long it's taken to reach 100 million users over the years. As you'll see, the mobile phone took 16 years to get to 100 million users. The internet took 7 years. Facebook took about 4.5. And then ChatGPT was kind of one of the first big AI things to go out there, and it took about 3 months. So definitely a need for it, and a lot of people have bought in very early. Here's some of our early findings from Microsoft 365 Copilot. Really want to stress this as well, just some of the different verticals and different departments that may be able to use it. Internal Microsoft 365 Copilot, the users across sales departments, IT, HR, engineering, marketing, those are just to name a few. And we really want to highlight as well that this can be really beneficial if you're even at the CEO level, the CFO level, especially maybe, for example, if you're a CFO, you could use this to help with maybe a financial analysis, budgeting and forecasting, and operational efficiency. There's several different team members and departments that can use this and benefit from it. So how much is Copilot worth to these users? 96% of people said that they would be disappointed if they no longer had access to Copilot. 83% said they would not want to go back to working without Copilot. And then 47% access to Copilot would influence their choice of employer. So a lot of these people that have incorporated Copilot in their day-to-day have definitely seen the benefits, as well as improved their efficiency in their day-to-day tasks. Yeah, and we're just going to touch on, just from a sales perspective here, just some Copilot use cases for sales roles. And then also in our following sessions, the follow-up sessions we'll be doing, we're going to have some more use cases as well to talk about some other departments that could use this. But in day-to-day for sales roles, some of the things you might be able to use it for. I know personally, I like to use it for LinkedIn, even if it just gives you an idea of how to start a LinkedIn post or some key points of the topic that you're trying to speak on. I think that's really beneficial. By monitoring industry news and competitor activities, Copilot can even provide insights into competitive positioning and outreach. And just as you can see here, there's a list of things just to brainstorm, language assistance. I know another benefit as well is sometimes when we're writing emails, if you're not sure of the language or the tone even that you might be writing those emails, Copilot can kind of help with that. So a lot of different use cases here for sales opportunities. And I'm going to pass it back over to Jenna to talk about some of the marketing use cases.
Awesome. Thanks, Chelsea. Yeah, a lot of great points here. And it's so true how any role across your organization can leverage Copilot to help speed up some day-to-day tasks. And I do want to shed light on 5 use cases I've seen AI used for customer success roles, marketing, HR, operations. So Chelsea and I are big believers in marketing and sales alignment and have firsthand experience in what you can accomplish if you are strategic and personal about the way you're interacting with people. So I do want to emphasize, no matter how you're using AI, no matter what the case is, it's important to always put your personal touch on it and make sure your brand stands out as much as possible. So one that stands out for me is Copilot can summarize long PDFs in a matter of seconds. For example, what could be a 20-page jargon-filled document can be distilled into just 5 bullet points using Copilot. And you can take those bullet points and use them in an infographic, a newsletter, or something more digestible. You simply copy and paste the document into Copilot, watch it populate with a response. So that's one angle of content generation if you're going from a document that already exists. But Copilot can also help draft brand new emails and social content. It's like having a professional writer at your side to create the body of the email, social media captions like Chelsea spoke about with LinkedIn. And if you're very precise with your prompts on what you want to achieve in your message, you can get sharper and better performing results. And when it comes to visuals, Copilot can generate custom images, allowing you to move beyond stock images and text only. I know a lot of us are visual learners, and to grab someone's attention, appealing images has become a must-have, especially for any events that you do at your business. So you can have fun with this feature, and this saves a lot of time, especially for those who might not have a graphic designer in-house. And perhaps one of my favorite use cases is the integration Copilot has with Teams and Outlook. So think about all the emails you get during the day. The average person gets 121 emails. And if you come across a long email string that you've been tagged on, you can actually ask Copilot to consolidate the key points from the email string or even recap meeting notes, and it helps you to take quick action. So we'll take a deeper look at that in a second. But the last point here is Copilot overall is a great tool for learning new skills. You can ask questions tailored to the needs relevant to your role. So for example, if you're interested in how to optimize your SEO based on your geography or what type of keywords should be on your website, or maybe it's the best formula for Excel spreadsheets to consolidate all the data that you've been tracking, or maybe it's even asking Copilot how to get the most out of all your M365 applications like SharePoint, PowerPoint, and more. Those are great ones to start with. You just want to be precise with those prompts. And I have a link here that I'll drop in the chat that has a list of the most popular Copilot prompts for you to get started with. But that really is just the tip of the iceberg. We do have a couple quick videos to show you. The first one is how you can use Copilot in Teams meetings. So we actually just learned in a recent study that people using Microsoft Copilot with Teams have reported up to 87% increase in productivity. So let's see a quick glimpse of that.
Imagine you have an appointment that conflicts with your weekly business review. What if you could do both? With Copilot, you can opt to follow a meeting. After the meeting ends, Copilot will summarize what you missed. You'll get a notification in Teams when the recap is ready. This recap will highlight content that was shared, summarize notes, and any action items for you or others whose names were mentioned. You see that one of your customers was discussed, and you want to learn more. You can ask Copilot clarifying questions, and it provides a detailed response. It can tell you why a certain decision was made, and gives you helpful context. You can even ask Copilot what other solutions were considered, and it provides citations from the transcript so you can see where Copilot drew these conclusions. It's a huge time saver. So that was pretty cool. But the real magic of Copilot happens during a live meeting. Let's say you're in a meeting with your team. You can ask Copilot to summarize the meeting so far. You can see how it summarizes who said what points were made, and it's really capturing the spirit of the discussion. And as the meeting progresses, you can check in on where people stand. You can even ask Copilot what questions are unresolved. It's just amazing to see this happen in real time during a meeting.
And I will echo that these meeting summaries are one of the top features, in my opinion. Being able to quickly wrap up a meeting and reference that transcript and summarize it is a must-have. So be sure to try that in your next meeting if you haven't already. And we do have one more quick video that dives into this, especially if you're using Copilot in your Outlook inbox. So those who are using Copilot in Outlook are experiencing a 30% reduction in time spent on email management. So let's take a look at this one.
Copilot in Outlook can help you prioritize your time and stay on top of meetings. Here you've been invited to a meeting that conflicts with a meeting you're planning to attend. Clearly, you can only attend one. From the meeting invite, you can choose to RSVP with follow. Switching over to your calendar, you can see that you're now following this meeting. Once the meeting starts on Teams, the organizer will receive a notification to record the meeting because someone is following it. Now, after the meeting is done and the recording is ready, Copilot will notify you that the meeting recap is ready for you to review. You can then ask Copilot some questions about the meeting, like, summarize this meeting, or are there any action items for me? That way you can stay on top of things as if you were present during the meeting.
So hopefully those are some quick tips that you can jump on and even try today with Copilot, even the free version. And again, part 2 of this series will dig into those features even more so. But this is a great time for us to hand it over to Leanne to go over some facts for us to help get back, kind of back up everything that you've been hearing so far and what she's been experiencing when it comes to this technology. So Leanne, we'll pass it over to you.
Thank you so much, Jenna. Yeah, my name is Leanne Chapin. I am a development executive supporting Microsoft at Ingram Micro. So thinking about digital debt. So based on Microsoft's research, 64% of employees think they don't have enough time or energy to do their job. Primary causes of this time and energy drain are things like searching for information and navigating inefficient meetings. I mean, I'm sure no one on this call has ever been to a meeting that could have been an email. So employees report spending nearly 60% of their time on communicating and coordinating, which leaves just 40% for creation and deep thinking and collaboration. So the volume of data and email and chat has really outpaced our ability to process it all. This is what's called digital debt. So every minute spent managing this digital debt is a minute not spent on creative work. And in a world where creativity is the new productivity, digital debt is really more than an inconvenience. It's potentially impacting your business. So nearly 2 in 3 people say they don't have enough time and energy to do their job. And those same employees are 3.5 times more likely to struggle with innovation and strategic thinking. So think about, your day-to-day, your work life. How are you feeling digital debt in your life? All right. So a recent study found that 87% of leaders believe AI will give their organization a competitive edge. So question lots of leaders are asking themselves right now is, how will your organization seize the full potential of AI while safeguarding your business and your data and your employees? And how will you do this for your customers? And while for many, AI-related job loss is top of mind, the data from Microsoft's polling shows that managers are also looking to leverage AI to empower their people, not replace them. In fact, managers were 2 times more likely to say AI would be most valuable for boosting productivity versus cutting heads. Next, I'm going to talk about some of the security functions and parameters around Copilot. So foundational productivity with Copilot for Microsoft 365 starts with Microsoft 365. So a solution that stretches across all of the different elements required in the modern world of work that are essential prerequisites to leveraging Copilot for Microsoft 365. I support Microsoft. I drink the Microsoft Kool-Aid. You're working with PCA, you're most likely transacting 365 as well. So Zero Trust ensures that every access point to your data and network is rigorously authenticated and protected, which reduces the risk of security breaches. Endpoint management included allows for device control, maintenance, security enforcement, which creates a stable work environment. And productivity and collaboration tools, so your Office suite and Teams, are designed to work together to help customers be more effective and efficient. So throughout this comprehensive solution, all of these capabilities with the stack of products underneath are designed to work together to minimize operational cost and complexity. So Microsoft believes that zero trust and the simplified endpoint management are requirements for a stellar productivity and collaboration experience. Okay, so this slide breaks out the differences between the free version of Copilot and Copilot for Microsoft 365. If you go to your app store right now, there's a Microsoft Copilot available to you for free. The features listed there are what's included. Copilot for Microsoft 365, which is the paid version, which is really what we're trying to discuss today, has all of that, plus the graph grounding, plus you work with your Microsoft 360 app, and plus Copilot Studio. Okay. So let's talk about how you best prepare your environment for a better Copilot for Microsoft 365 experience. So Copilot inherits your organization's existing 365 security and compliance and privacy policies. Your data is going to be isolated and protected within your 365 tenant and always within your control. So by design, Copilot respects user-specific and group permissions to any content or information that it retrieves, and only generates responses based on information that the user putting in the prompt explicitly has permission to access. So you want to make sure that your security parameters are set up in place, that people only have access to see content within your organization that they should have access to. So specifically think of HR files. The entire organization doesn't need to see that. Or payroll information. You don't want that, a lot of that information getting out to the entire workspace. You're going to make sure those security parameters are in place before Copilot is deployed in your environment. Microsoft 365 allows you to classify teams to ensure the right people are in the right conversations. Business Premium specifically, we call this Microsoft Zero SKU, includes important capabilities such as sensitivity labels and retention labels to help customers apply and restrict permissions within the Microsoft 365 app, and set up those retention labels and policies within email. So doing these things will help ensure that the semantic index for Copilot for Microsoft 365 is reasoning over the set of business context and content that will surface the most relevant and actionable information from within the organization to the end user during the prompting, and prevent things like content oversharing and accidental leakage. So the semantic index is a new feature within Microsoft 365 search that uses the Microsoft Graph to better interact with your personal and organizational data. They'll create a new index that enables the future of search and Copilot experiences. So whatever they query, either through a search or in Microsoft Copilot, it's always within that user's specific security context, and only content that a user that has access to it is able to be shown. All right, with that, I am going to pass it back to Jenna.
Awesome. Thank you, Leanne. Yeah, a lot of great data there. And overall, I think just so important for us to see how many people are leveraging AI and seeing the benefits from it. So that's a great segue into our final minutes here. We know how valuable your time is. So in this part one, we really just wanted to jump right into some use cases, get down to the facts to open up this series. And if you have any questions, again, please drop them in the chat and we'll capture those and get back to you right away. And don't forget to mark your calendar for the live demo deep dive next month, which will be on August 28th at 1 p.m. So I'm going to drop that into the chat right now. And also, before we go, we do ask that you keep a lookout for a link to our post-event survey. It's a quick 30-second survey, and as a thank you for your feedback on today's session, we will enter you in for a chance to win Buffalo Bills tickets to a home game this season. So we're excited to have this giveaway and have a handful of people be our guests at upcoming games this fall. So thank you in advance for completing the survey, and keep a lookout for this link and all of the additional resources that come with this webinar. But any final thoughts from you, Chelsea?
Yeah, just some final thoughts here. If you have any questions, even about your own Microsoft licensing or managing that licensing, feel free to reach out to PCA as well. You can email us here, and our phone number is also on the website. So feel free to reach out in any of those ways, and we're happy to help you out.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you all again for attending. Thank you, Leanne, Chelsea, and we'll see everyone at part 2, but keep an eye out for that survey and the resources later this afternoon. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks.